Human Resource Manager of the company HTG, and we got your application form weeks before. So we are having the interview right now. Could you please firstly introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Lu Xue. I'm
Yeah.
21 years old. I'm right now studying International Business and Management Studies at the University in Holland. And I saw that you have a vacancy on your website about the position of export manager. And I saw the requirements, and I think I fulfill all requirements, including that I don't have more than 2 years work experience, and also will graduate in 2014.
Yeah, okay. So for the export manager, could you tell me the relevant background and experience you had in your life?
Well, I first working in my parents' restaurant, so we also had to import supplies from other countries. And because the German of my parents that wasn't really good, so I ordered it for them. And back then I was actually pretty young, about 12, 13, so I had to be already very independent and do research about products and supplies and finding supplies and so on. And also a few years ago, starting 3 years, I also import products from China and also sell them. First it was just selling them nationally, so only in Holland. But after a few weeks and months, I also got offer from other countries like Belgium. So I do know how the exporting works, so how to export things to out of the country.
Yeah, nice. And about importing products from China, and I saw that your nationality is German. And how could you really import things from China?
My nationality is Dutch.
Dutch? Okay.
But I grew up in Germany, but I do speak English. So the communication with the Chinese suppliers was actually basically English. But I was also capable to speak a few words of Chinese. So if I saw that they weren't able to understand the English, I just spoke to them in Chinese. So there were, of course, a few obstacles in communication, but we actually overcame these.
Okay. And I saw for the skills, you have the Wentonese. You could speak Wentonese, and I want to say, if you are in our company and one day we would export things or have a cooperation with some Chinese companies, would it be really good if you could speak really good Wentonese?
Yeah, my parents are both from Wenzhou, so I am a native speaker of Wentonese. So if you really are planning to export the products to Wenzhou, then I'm of course capable to communicate. And also many Chinese do speak now Mandarin. Right now I don't really have high knowledge of the language, but in third year I plan to go there for half a year, so we'll be able to have some basic knowledge in Mandarin. So language shouldn't be a big barrier in that field.
Okay. So about your personal factors, what kind of factors do you think you have? The really typical ones.
So I'm open-minded. That's due to my background. That I was exposed to different cultural environments, and so I can also really adapt myself to an appropriate role. So, for example, if I'm in Germany, my behavior is actually different than the one I have in Holland with my Holland friends and classmates. And also, I'm really rational, so can be very objective. Friends of mine, they come to me if they, for example, if they need neutral advice from someone. So someone who isn't subjective, who isn't who's really biased. Furthermore, I'm also have numeric intelligence, so really good with numbers, good at math and statistics. So I'm also capable to forecast the trends of future sales, for example. So I think that it might be a really good contribution to your company as well.
Yeah, if you're the export manager in our company, and is that really difficult for you to communicate people in different countries? I mean, different nationalities, especially for the Spanish and the French.
No, well, I do have some basic knowledge in French and Spanish, and due to my background, as mentioned, I was exposed to different cultural environments. I also have developed multiple identities, so I'm really capable to adapt myself to different roles. So if I'm, for example, in Spain, I know that the people there are different. So I don't, if their behavior differentiate from the Dutch one or the one that I'm used to, then I don't will develop a negative opinion on them. So I think I can really communicate, cooperate with different cultures without a problem.
Okay, and for our company, for now, we are mainly exporting perfume to other countries. Are you familiar with cosmetic things and perfume?
Yeah, my mother, she actually only buys brand perfumes from Chanel, Versace. So I also got this from her. I also buy a lot of perfumes from Jean Paul Gaultier, or all the other brands you actually also supplying, like Chanel, Versace. So I'm really familiar with them, also with the consistency, and also with where you sell them, and the sales forecast and these kind of things.
And for this placement, what are the strengths you think you have for the position?
I'm really open-minded, as mentioned earlier, but I'm also really ambitious, and I'm also really have also high stress resistance. So I think this might be also a big contribution. And I think another strength of mine will be, as mentioned earlier, my rational thinking.
Yeah, and about the limitations, what could be the really limitations for you?
On professional level, I can't really think of any, but due to the fact that I have to work close with customers, I can say that one limitation that might become a problem will be my low emotional intelligence. I'm able to empathize with other people, their feelings, and so I can also connect with other people. But if it's going deeper, like to a close relationship, like if it's getting too personal, then I might become I might have a little issue in that field. So, but I don't think that this will be a problem here, because I won't get that close to customers.
And according to this, could you give me a good example about your teamwork experience?
At the Hansa University, I've been working in many group works, so we don't had any issues. There are, of course, a few conflicts, but as soon as I evaluated them as a negative conflict, I also step back on my dignity and just let them go through. So I don't have any problems with group work. And also back in high school, I was school president, and I also had to adapt the role of a leader. So I also know when it is appropriate to take over the role of leader, or when to work as a follower.
Okay, and how's your computer skills? I heard that you were good at statistics and mathematics. I want to know, for an export manager, how could you use the computer skills to do the statistics things, or to do the things in the documents in the company?
Well, I have advanced knowledge on Microsoft Word and also Microsoft Excel, because I use this that program for my personal finance and in the online shop. And also I'm capable of using SPSS for sales forecast, but I don't do that a lot because I know that the sales forecast are actually it really depends on many factors, including factors that can be included in statistics.
Okay. And how about your problem-solving skills? Because we are exporting, and in different countries, we will have lots of conflicts by different governments or other departments. And could you give me a good example of your problem-solving skills?
I think, yeah, in that field, my problem-solving skills might be appropriate to a good extent. I can, if I, for example, have to export something to a country I've never heard of, I of course do a lot of research and try to avoid uncertainty and any problems. So I would really take my time to do enough research to avoid and prevent any problems. And and I also would think about any alternatives in case if there might be a problem. And I'm also a quick thinker, so as soon as if I see there is a problem, then I can actually take action pretty fast.
Okay. And in a nutshell, what do you think that you could bring to the company? You have lots of skills, strength, powers, but what do you think that you could really bring to the company?
Well, as mentioned earlier, my multiple identity had been developed due to my background, and I think this might be a good contribution to your company because I'm able to interact with people from different cultures, different countries. So I can actually create new network for your company with countries you have never worked before.
Okay. And what are your outlook, values, and attitudes about work? Do you love it, or why do you want to do it?
Important for me as a core value is that a company is also moral. So I know that you don't really jeopardize human rights, animal rights, or the environment. So that's why I think the company is actually appropriate for me.
And how about the flexible time for the export things? We would have sometimes arguing with different departments and the embassies. How about the flexi time schedule for you?
Well, I don't have any problem. I'm pretty flexible, not only to time but also to location. If you would like me to overwork in order to finish my business, then I would do that because one personal trait of mine is, well, for example, I can't leave anything unfinished behind. So if it's even though I'm done with work in 1 hour officially, I will still work on my task if I'm still not finished.
So, and how about going abroad of Holland? It's like if we gave you this job, but the main time of every month you need to be outside of Holland to communicate with the other companies and the countries things. Is that fine for you?
It's fine because I'm really flexible, I'm independent, so I don't really have to be in Holland. You can also send me away for more than a year.
After those questions, I also want to ask you what are your ideas on salaries and how much money do you hope to earn at 30 or 35 or the placement time right now?
Well, during the placement, I just want to, my main aim is actually to gain some experience. So money isn't really an important factor right now. So a minimum wage of 400 will also be acceptable. And later, if I get a fixed contract at a company, I would prefer to, of course, get a normal salary like 2,000 or 3,000 euros, and also would like to earn more if my job is actually, if I do my job very well.
Okay, so for the export department, would you prefer to work in a large or a small organization?
The organization is actually pretty big, so I really prefer to work in a big company.
Okay. And how about the time? And how long do you expect to stay with us?
Yeah, well, if everything looks fine, and everything, yeah, if my position is really stable, then I thought about to work at least 5 to 10 years.
Mm. And what kind of a boss do you want to work with?
Yeah, well, as mentioned earlier, I have a low emotional, yeah, not really high emotional intelligence, so I would prefer if the boss would be professional and not going into yeah, to personal relationship.
Yeah, but how about the gender? You want a female boss or male boss?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm fine with both.
And if we ask you to have the extra time to work with the boss on weekends or the breaks, is that okay for you?
Yes, I don't have any problems to go overwork.
Okay, and do you like to travel? How do you usually spend your holidays?
Yeah, actually I do not. Yeah, I do like to travel sometimes, but I don't really like spending my holidays on vacation and yeah, in a different country because after vacation I'm actually even more stressed mostly. So if I
Yeah,
have to work in a different country, then it's fine, but
yeah.
vacation is a different story.
Yeah, because if you want to do the export manager, we would really ask you to work with the boss on vacation, and maybe you would go abroad over
So
holiday.
that, yeah, so that's not a problem for me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for